Hello there, and welcome to the Data Radio Show. That's right, the Data Radio Show. There's been a slight rebrand, but I'll explain more on that later, along with everything else we've got in the episode, which is coming up now. Hey, welcome to the 10th episode of the Data Radio Show. Now, you might have noticed that we, like Wile E. Coyote, have dropped the Vault. The big difference is he's a cartoon character and we're a podcast/show. And one's really, really heavy and the other is just removing a few letters. And I would thoroughly recommend only dropping Vaults in cartoons and name only, because they're big, heavy things that really are not simple to lift if you drop them. Anyway, we dropped the name for a couple of different reasons. First of all, we wanted to make sure that we had a product that was accessible to everybody. We love Data Vault as a management system for organizing data. It's a really effective way, in particular, if you're building something like an AI and you need to have access to really up-to-date, informative information that's well-governed and well looked after. And Data Vault Innovators community is still big supporters of us, and we still love them. In fact, I'm going to put their address up on screen right now. Go and join. It's completely free. Have fun in there. Meet other people and join the conversation. But we wanted people to know as well that what we're making here isn't just for Data Vault users or people who are considering Data Vault. It's all about people who work in data in general. And this is a field that we know is expanding incrementally. Like, it's huge. It's massive. In the interview a little bit later, where I sat down and spoke to Sheng, who is a scientist, one of the things he pointed out in there is just how quickly things like AI have exploded and what that means in terms of changes for the industry and people who have studied and work within data fields. So it'll be really interesting to listen to that a little bit later, but also how that affects what we do. Because we want to make sure, as I said, this is accessible to everybody. Doesn't mean we can change the format too much. In fact, the name change is pretty much that is the format change, but it does mean that it takes me a little bit longer to explain things after we do the intro credits and a little bit longer to get to the news. So I guess we'll do that now. Let's go and jump to this week's news. This week, Microsoft has announced Purview, the suite of tools that helps organize transition to modern data governance practices. It does this by providing AI-powered capabilities for managing, securing, and integrating data, as well as for audits, protection, risk management, communication compliance, along with data loss prevention. It enables you to set clear goals and measurable outcomes for your data governance, making your data more accessible, automating tasks such as data quality scores, and providing recommendations and insights into data management performance. You can actually learn more about this in the link that's in our description below from Windows Report. Analytics Insights reported on the 7 ways generative AI can be used by data engineers to optimize data workflows and drive innovation. These are in synthetic data generation, data augmentation, anomaly detection, data denoising, domain adaptation, data imputation, and schema generation. GenAI is offering new ways for data engineers to optimize their data workflows, improve data quality, and drive innovation in data management and analytics. You can actually check this out in a short read, which is linked below from Analytics Insight. But also jump over to the DVIC community and have a chat about this one as well. It's a really fascinating topic to get to dive into a little bit deeper. In other news, the AI governance market is set to grow at a staggering compound annual rate of 36% over the 2024 to 2031 period. The market for AI governance is expected to grow significantly due to the increasing need of responsible AI deployment, regulatory compliance, and ethical considerations. This growth estimate is driven by factors such as the need for algorithmic transparency, data privacy protection, model explainability, fairness, and accountability mechanisms. For more on this, check out the links that we've got in the description to iNews. And finally, from the Microsoft Cloud blog, it's a 6-part blog series on AI readiness covering the 5 drivers of AI readiness, which emphasizes the importance of AI governance to ensure responsible use of AI and build trust in the technology. The blog series has some great information and resources to help organizations implement best practices for AI governance, including security, privacy, and data governance. I have a link for this down below in the description as well, so you can go and check it out. Commenting further, one of the writers actually stressed the importance of modern data platforms and robust data governance practices, and that fostering a culture of data literacy and accountability across an organization is vital. Employees should be trained to understand the importance of data management and their role in maintaining data integrity. Right, that's it for the news this week. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to have your say as a community member. And if you're not already a member of the Data Vault Innovators community, follow the link that's in the description below. It's completely free. It would be fantastic to have you join us over there. I should also point out that this month's news has been sponsored by Wearscape. Wearscape helps IT organizations leverage automation to design, develop, deploy, and operate data infrastructure faster. More than 1,200 customers worldwide rely on Wearscape automation to eliminate hand coding and other repetitive, time-intensive tasks to deliver data warehouses, vaults, lakes, and marts in days or weeks rather than in months or years. Wearscape has global operations in the US, the United Kingdom, Singapore, and Aotearoa, New Zealand, and can be found online at wearscape.com. This week, for our interview, we're actually sitting down and having a chat to Sheng, who is the head or the chief data scientist for Tech Data out of Australia. He is at the forefront of AI technologies and what that means for their clients and for what it means for you, individuals as the end user or businesses that you might be dealing with or people who work within the field, because it's such an explosive area to work with. Actually, that was one of the questions I asked him because I've always been curious with any kind of explosion in terms of the way we do things, whether or not other people saw it coming. And as somebody who sort of worked through and studied in the tech field not that long ago, was what we see in AI something that is kind of expected from people who work within the industry? And I was really surprised actually with the answer that I got. So enough blathering for me. Let's jump over to the interview so you can sit down and meet Sheng Lan. Brilliant. So, first of all, Sheng, thank you very much for joining me. Big question for you, I guess. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Paul. My name is Sheng Lan. Currently, I'm a lead data scientist at Tech Data in Australia. And what I do daily job is to enable business partners to help them on this data AI adoption journey. Before Tech Data, I worked for IBM Consulting at Chicago, US for 5 years as a data science consultant.
So, for you, then, what would you say is the one big thing people should take away about tech data? What's the big sales pitch? I guess. What's the most important thing about it?
Yeah, I'm a pre-sale role in Tech Data. I think the one
Mm-hmm.
thing what I think is special is we have a team called Center of Excellence. That is a group of great engineer or technical people can support you for demos, pre-sales solutions. That is a free of charge. So you come work with Tech Data, and our COE team help you to design solution, do the process, pre-sale, and do the demos. If you win, your customer like the solution, and we win together. If this is not the time for this opportunity, then it's free. We move on for next opportunity.
I love that idea. That's
Yep.
brilliant. Um, so do you work with a range of products like Watson X, for example, and stuff like that to help build the right customer results?
Yep, my primary role is to support and enable IBM AI portfolio. And for IBM AI, Watson X is a main product. And besides IBM, I also support other big vendors like Microsoft, AWS.
How did you get into this field?
Uh, Not a very exciting story. I have my master degree in US, and that is all about get a job at US. Since I was in China, basically I born and raised in China. Then for US, it's only for the master degree, and
Mhm.
I just find the major or the program is very popular at that time, and the data science, data analytics is very popular when I was in master degree. So I that is where I start to get a good job and to stay in this very competitive and very popular field. Then
Well,
after, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say it is we hear more and more about the field in particular these days. It must be a really competitive one to get into. How do you keep your edge?
Um, for that one is so I have my master in Carnegie Mellon University. It's small university but very popular for computer science. Uh, People there every day, everywhere you see people do coding, do programming, even in cafeteria or in the bench on the playground. So, and a lot of advanced or edge technology kind of born in my Carnegie Mellon University. For example, the auto drive that is born
Mhm.
in CMU early 90s maybe, and that is where I kind of naturally to exposure to this field to know the latest, the most popular one. Then after I graduate in industry, um, data science is very, that time before generative AI is not many people talk AI like today. So you need work with very great, we'll say the talented or expertise. Most of them have highly degree like PhD. So um, they talk about this new technology, and also you want to talk this advanced edge technology with your customer to get their attention to show them how they can use this new technology, new algorithm to resolve their business challenge. So I think that kind of become a job requirement. You have to be at the edge of the technology to resolve these business challenges.
Out of curiosity, then, as somebody who has worked in this field for a while, you've done the research in it. How far away were you, in terms of how many years ago was it that you could sort of see where we are now with Gen AI? Could you see that that's where the industry was moving towards, or sort of how it was developing and being able to keep tabs on it? Or has it come as a bit of a shock as to how fast it's advanced?
It's a shock for me, since, well, based on my experience, very not long, but it's like 5 years. When I
Hmm.
was in the college, deep learning is very new idea at that time. So not much people talk about deep learning. All our focus is on that decision tree or classification algorithm. So the algorithm, you can basically know exactly how that algorithm works. Like you know the detail for the mathematical formula. Then when I graduate, the deep learning become very popular. But that is most of people just know the name deep learning. What really happened is what is a neural network, how that works, what is the mathematical formula we know from a traditional machine learning. No one know that. And when people talk about this, is more for analytics, still for analytics.
Hmm.
Then certainly, I think last year, everyone talk about AI, and for now, people understand AI. I think most people just think about that ChatGPT is AI, and it make it very easy. Everyone can use AI to do some stuff, to email, uh, proofreading, summarize your meeting minutes. Then it's become very popular topic compared to when I just started. Everyone in from enterprise, from your friends in your daily life, people can use AI. But before that, no one talked about AI. Like you don't talk uh, deep learning. Besides, outside my Carnegie Mellon University, no one talked about that. Now people talk about the news they saw about AI, how AI robot, how AI help them to create videos, the Sora or create images. That is shock to me. Like is I think is I feel kind of lucky to be in this field, uh, which I started just to get a job. Then this one become one of the most popular field, very popular to maybe start my career here for next 10 years.
So it sounds like a fairly high pressure field then, because it's sort of exploded so much. How do you relax? What do you do to unwind?
For now, I kind of feel to relax is just, for example, I when I first use ChatGPT is to help me to do some online interview. Like
Hmm.
there's online assessment to check your background, check your maybe intelligence or knowledge on mathematical. Is quite a difficult online assessment. I maybe know only 20% of that uh, answers, but I used ChatGPT at that time, like
Hmm.
1 year ago, and it got maybe 90% accurate. That is like a wow moment for me. And since then, when I do relax, I feel like when I see this how what AI can do is relax for me. It's like to watch some movie or to watch some
Hmm.
cool stuff. You say, wow, this is very exciting, entertaining. Like for example, the people use AI to create beer. They analyze the people preference and use AI to
Hmm.
generate recipe, design the package, and they use AI to create videos. Right, the video is
Hmm.
really real. If you don't tell that, maybe you show the video people 5 years ago, no one will think about that is created by AI. So that is really excited when I see that. I didn't feel like it's work. It's just feel relaxed
See,
to see all this happen.
I saw a great piece on the news the other night actually about how they were using AI in the United Kingdom to work out the best way to grow hops, new strains of hops for beer, because climate change is bringing about so much change to the way that the crops actually grow. But if you want a traditional British pint of beer, you're not going to
Yep.
be able to do that in the same way. So they had to find new ways to build it, and AI was helping them with that. So
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
kind of like the idea of AI doing my relaxing for me, but I don't know what I'd do in the meantime. Read more, maybe? Yeah. Do you have a favorite book?
um, yeah. For AI specific, I'm reading a
Oh,
book called
yeah.
Containment.
What about just to relax, just to enjoy?
Three Body.
I have just watched that on Netflix, and I know it's very different to the book.
Yeah, it's different from book, but I think they make it very popular. The book is need a lot of the first there's a three, I think, for Three Body. There's three volume. The first one is difficult to read, but after you
Hmm.
finish first one, the second one, third one is easy. I think that is very fantastic story, and the writer is a programmer as well, and he
Oh,
work
I
in
didn't realize that.
yeah, he work in a power plant, and he's very good at the programming. So the
Hmm.
program he wrote it no issue, no bug. He have a lot of relaxing time, so he
That's
just
impressive.
starting writing Three Bodies, and yeah, that is very fantastic story. And this Netflix have the TV show make it more popular.
Yeah, there's a New Zealand actress actually who's one of the lead actresses in the series, which is really cool for me as a New Zealander to sit down and go, "Oh, okay, that's see how they bring all that together." But the number of times I've had people comment that they don't understand the accent is a little mean. Hurts a little bit when I get told like they can't understand me. I'll survive. Do you have a favorite science fiction title then, like a favorite science fiction TV show or movie or computer game?
Well, maybe Three Body again.
Hmm.
I watched The Foundation. I think that is very popular one on TV, but I didn't read the book.
I'm actually rewatching Foundation at the moment. I'm sort of halfway through the second series again, and it's yeah, it holds up really well. Actually, really nice story for it. And Lee Pace is one of my favorite actors. Like, absolutely brilliant actor.
Yeah,
So to
great.
me,
Yeah,
to me,
I just started that one. I think it's great based on what I have watched in the TV.
yeah. Do you get much time to watch TV with young kids around, or is it more just a case of grabbing an episode while you can?
Yeah, before before I become a parent, yeah, I watch TV, but now is a lot of time watch the children fire truck, Coco Melon. That is maybe more.
Are they at that age where it's watch it over and over and over again, so
Yeah,
you get
the
sick of it
Baby
as a
Shark,
parent?
the most of most viewed video on YouTube. The
Mm-hmm.
Baby Shark.
It's horrifying. Like, that actually scares me. Yeah, that song is flashbacks, flashbacks. I'm very glad I don't have kids that age anymore. I do have grandkids that age, and I can give them back to their parents, so it's much easier to deal with. Sheng, that's it. Those are all my questions. Like I said, it wasn't overly complicated today. Hopefully, it wasn't too much stress for you and gives you a chance to still go back and finish lunch. Thank you very much for joining me. It is really appreciated. Have a fantastic afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I want to thank Sheng for sitting down with me and having a catch up. He must have been absolutely exhausted when we did it because it's a short week because of Easter and a long weekend where he was running around a whole bunch of zoos with his young kids. So I totally envy the amount of energy that he's got. And if you're kind of curious about the three body problem that he mentioned, this is fascinating, like really fascinating stuff. For example, it was written by a Chinese author named Liu Shizhen. And well, they've been in the news a little bit recently with a bit of a problem with their lawyer, who was found guilty of murdering the person who owned the rights to the television show version of Three Body Problem for a Chinese adaptation. It's weird and messy and complicated, and definitely something that, if you're curious, you should look into. BBC has some really interesting story reports on what's going on there. One of the things I found really fascinating, though, with this conversation that we had with Sheng was actually around AI and data responsibility, because I think it's a really big factor that people often forget. For example, this week we saw Jon Stewart have a little bit of a meltdown over the use of AI. Here, let me give you a bit of a clip from what he said on The Daily Show on Monday.
And as AI gets better and better, it's only going to make it more difficult to separate fact from fiction, which could be terrifying. Luckily, the people in charge of AI have told us that just like with the internet and social media, it's actually going to make everything much better.
This has the potential to make life much better. I think it's honestly a layup.
I hate to sound like utopic tech bro here, but the increase in quality of life that AI can deliver is extraordinary.
AI is the most profound technology humanity is working on, more profound than fire or electricity.
Yeah! Suck a fire! That's right, you heard me. You heard me, fire. Oh, I'm sorry. Do I need to turn that up? Suck a motherfucking fire. And whoa. What are you giggling at, electricity? I mean, listen, I'm sure AI is good, but like, fire good? How so?
They can help us solve very hard scientific problems that humans are not capable of solving themselves.
Addressing climate change will not be particularly difficult for a system like that.
The potential for AI to help scientists cure, prevent, and manage all diseases in this century.
I completely trust you. And your enormously wide eyes and very human cadence. But benefit of the doubt, this can cure diseases and solve climate change? What are we using it for now?
Jarvis knows when to make me breakfast.
Your toast is ready.
All right.
Are you out of your mind? See, here's the thing. Toast, I can make. I can make toast. It might be the only technology we have that works pretty much every time. I'll tell you what, why don't you get to work on curing the diseases and the climate change, and we'll hold down the fort on toast.
So one of the big concerns that Jon Stewart brought up was around responsibility and usage, and that's a big question. One of the pieces of content I'm going to show you today, it's actually a really nice short bit about data responsibility. And we know that data responsibility is really big, not just for something like AI, where it needs to have accurate data sets to be able to do its job properly, but just for the standard day-to-day running of everything that we work on these days. We use so much information and create so much data that it is so important that there is some responsibility there for what's kept and what the quality of that is and how it's looked after. So have a listen to this piece that was actually done 2022, I think it was, 2023. I get my dates all mixed up, with James Hartwright and Richard Harris and Jules Redmond from Ignition. Have a listen to them talk about data quality, data responsibility.
Everyone's.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Move on to the next one.
All agree.
Everyone's. In fact, the title of today of Q&A, I think, was posted, with the high turnover. And I think for me, that's one of the big risks that we face today. The average life expectancy for a chief marketing officer is 18 months. So when it comes to, and the trend is similar for a lot of other executive roles. And so one of the problems that we face is that people are not necessarily encouraged to make those strategic decisions. They're looking for the more short-term answers. And that starts to permeate, across an organizational culture sometimes. If people are moving roles, then there's less incentive to look at maintaining and taking data quality seriously. I mean, I would love to have seen more focus being given on some of the recent breaches as who was in charge when those decisions were made to architect in those ways, because 9 times out of 10 it was not the people who were dealing with the problem today. So from my perspective, although it is a very glib answer to say everybody, it's quite true that we need to have an organizational view of why data is important and where and how we can take the steps to maintain data at its highest quality, that's possible within the context of your organizational capabilities.
Yeah, I would just say, so you definitely need executive sponsorship for these sorts of things. You're not going to get a framework that monitors data quality over time. As James was saying before, it's an ongoing journey. It's not a single fix. So if you have exec sponsorship to put those systems so you can monitor it, but execs can't, they're not the ones at the coalface actually entering data into a system or working with that data and having the opportunity to correct errors as they come across them. So you need, it's a cultural thing too, and it's analogous to the designing security into all layers of your process. You need to design quality into all layers of your operation here, and it's not a easy project to do because it actually touches every layer of the onion, and you need to have that mindset of at this point, how can we affect the architecture or the design or the processes to build data quality into it.
I'm doing a lot on this at the moment in trying to educate the business owners of business systems that data quality is not just about the data quality of what they believe they need to run their process. It's all of the downstream people or parallel connected systems that if you're on any journey towards data-driven maturity, data-driven insights, you have to, as you said, have it from the enterprise. You have to have those business owners respect and respond to things that may not necessarily be within their core system. And again, culture, journey, etc.
Hey, thank you very much for joining me this week for the Data Radio Show. I need to give a shout out to Sheng for joining me as well. Absolutely fascinating to sit down and learn more from a data scientist about what's going on and all of that kind of stuff. It seems to scare a few people, as you also saw a little bit earlier as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That way you can tell more people about what's going on and be kept up to date with different content as we bring it out, and that's always good. Free content is always good. And it doesn't matter if you're doing this as a video or a podcast. Subscribing is a nice way to show support that doesn't cost you a thing. Speaking of not costing a thing, you can also jump over to the Data Vault Innovators community and join the free forums over there to talk about what was in this episode or anything else that takes your fancy from the data management industry around the world. But until next week, I think that's it from me. Don't forget to live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.